Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome back. We are here once again. This time, not going to be playing Blood Bowl 3 like I usually do. This time, we're doing some EUROBOWL 2025 rosters and interviews with the team captain. And for the first interview this year, we have an entirely newcomer. Didn't manage to get them the last time. The captain of the Czech Republic team. And would you mind introducing yourself?
Yeah. Hi. Hello, hello everyone. So I'm Thomas, also known as Coewolf in the Blood Bowl community, and I'm the new captain of Czech Republic team for the EUROBOWL. Actually, this year is my first in this position, being a captain. But yeah, I was present on all the EuroBowls where Czech Republic participated, so I was on all of them. Basically, my Blood Bowl career started somewhere around 2014, I believe, in local leagues, and then when first tournaments were being held in Czech Republic by our commissioner Grom, I started playing there too. To be honest, my first biggest international tournament, if I don't count some local tournaments around like in Vienna and so on, was Dornbirn, World Cup in Dornbirn. That was like the biggest trigger, like then to go to World Cups, EuroBowls, and since then I haven't missed any.
So 2014 was quite a long time ago. So very veteran of a coach then.
Well, maybe by years. I don't think by results.
Well, I mean, some you can just blame the dice. Like we don't put that against you here. Fair enough. Would you say that yours is a sort of background for most of the people on the Czech team? Like, would you say that they're experienced in going over to international tournaments, or do you have more of a new to EuroBowl and potentially other larger international tournaments type of roster?
Yeah. So we have I would say quite a solid base in the team that is kind of with similar or even bit longer background, starting usually with leagues, but tournamentally with the same background as I do. And then we have some guys kind of joining around the Blood Bowl 2, like season 2 edition, right? And then we have few really newer guys, kind of I think because they are new this year on our roster. Basically, last year they participated in the Euro Open with their own team because they were still not kind of qualified by our criteria for the national team. But we already knew at the time that they are very strong and they will be joining us. So these are two new guys, but they are basically bringing us to much better odds actually in the EuroBowl. So I would say most of the team is really experienced if we talk about years playing Blood Bowl. If we look at the international tournaments, then everyone from the team was, I think it's at least every year on one or two international tournaments. We have quite a lot of local tournaments, so everyone is kind of tournament experienced. Of course, the degree of I'd say experience from such a big tournament like EuroBowl that varies. But on the other hand, when I mentioned those two new guys, they are very active on, for example, EuroBowl 3.
Blood Bowl 3
gaming, Blood Bowl 3 gaming. So they have a lot of games under their belt. So I believe that, like, game-wise, we are quite experienced coaches overall. Of course, we can't compare with countries like England, right? The game just got here late, and we are all kind of what in some countries would be, I think, younger generation of gamers.
Speaking of the two, like, having taken a look at your last year's roster and this year's roster, I believe Hellenic and Kubusta are the two new additions, if I'm not.
Yes, those are the new guys.
Yeah, and those are the two people on this like roster list that I recognize. I have played against Hellenic and Kabusta both in online leagues, and I believe potentially even like rank ladders on at least a couple of occasions, and genuinely think that both of them are very good coaches, like from what I've seen of their play. So not bad additions at all.
I agree. Yeah, we are lucky that these are like our newcomers, let's say, almost.
Yeah. So, with that being said, I think this is a good sort of jumping off point to how does the how does the Czechs form your team like as a sort of, do you have a system for it? Is there a because there are some nations that do it more freely, more captain's choice essentially, whereas others there are very sort of rigid systems and and points that are being accrued over the year and which will then qualify you to things.
Yeah. So we are like let's say the latter. So we have a ranking system, which actually recently has been revised, where all players from Czech Republic or kind of a Czech players that want to participate or have an option to participate for Czech national team, they get points for their results on the tournaments. So all the tournaments are being counted, and it's a little bit rigid in a way that it also keeps some fragment of points over years, because we are not the huge community. So for now, the selection of players is quite small, let's say, of the active players that would be taking on the responsibility to join us on the EUROBOWL team. And we wanted to put there, because anything can happen, so there is this option of kind of keeping fragment of your points from previous year, or actually 2 years back, to kind of keep a consistency. If someone just 1 year, for personal reasons, for example, cannot join, we have right now there are me and another player. We have brand new kids this year born, right? So that's a lot of responsibilities where you can't really just go all over tournaments as usual. So there is this system where we count also fragments of points from to last 2 years, but of course the actual year is the strongest. And even if captain has some formal power, let's say, over the selection, it's not. It's basically very limited. So me as a captain, I can technically, let's say, put there the 8th player instead of the 8th player in the rank. I can put there someone who I consider being a maybe better option. On the other hand, we haven't used this, me or the previous captain, at all so far, because we are quite a small community. Everyone knows everyone, so it's not necessary to kind of enforce this. Also, as I would say, this ranking, this list or qualification criteria, they are saying just the players. Then, for example, selection, it's not dependent on the selection of rosters and so on. So it's basically about just taking the players, and then it's up onto the discussion in the team, like who will take which roster and so on.
Fair enough. But yeah, seems like it makes sense, to keep it a fairly sort of simple system and not have too much power in the captain's hands. If, as you're saying, if you have a smaller community of people to work with, it makes sense to me, at least, to have it that way.
And to be honest, if we would be a huge community, or some of the big countries, right? The maintenance of the list, the criteria would be huge, right? Here, with smaller community, that it's not that much effort. Actually, I'm not doing that. It's our commissioner, NAF representative here. But yeah, I can imagine that for bigger countries this might be a difficulty to run this.
All right. Well, yeah. with that, I think we're ready to move on to talking about the the rosters, the sort of like before we get to the actual rosters themselves and the players themselves. I would like to talk to you about last year's EuroBowl and how you fared in there. You personally, I believe you played Slan, right? With a 3 wins, 1 draw, 2 losses record, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
And the Czech team itself, first round opponent was Portugal, and then second was Hungary, third was Lithuania, fourth was Belgium, Bulgaria fifth, and Cyprus. Cyprus was and the overall, I just sort of like took a look at the unfortunately the EuroBowl, like I couldn't get the official sort of EuroBowl archive site to work for me. Like it just didn't open the like site for me. So I'm just relying on what I could find in like on the NAF site. So your thoughts on like how that went, because I believe you lost against Portugal, you won against Hungary, you lost to Lithuania and Belgium and Bulgaria, and then won against Cyprus as the
Yeah. So of course the results were not what we wanted, right? We expected bigger progress because we on our first EuroBowl in Greece, in Malta, that was the first experience, right? So we had a really team that was consisting mostly of people like who wants to join, who wants to go there, right? It wasn't really that much of a. At that time, I don't even think we didn't have the criteria selection. Basically, it was 8 guys who wanted to go there, right, to compete.
Yep.
So we expected that for Greece there will be improvement because we had the qualification criteria. We got more experienced, of course, and we felt a bit better. Some of our players had great successes in the meantime. So we came with much bigger expectations. I think some of the games, some of the matches were really close. We've, for example, with Lithuania, we had there a few really unfortunate moments where we just lost the game out of, on some 6+ dodges and so on. But it happens, right? So that happens. We cannot blame it on anyone else. The results were a bit harsh for us. We were glad that we had like 2 wins, 4 losses. Okay, that was much better. On the other hand, that there was a lot of space for improvement. So that's also one of the things, right, that we basically switched 2 players, right, as you mentioned, Hliník and Kubusta, and we switched them for two other players which were usually on our like bottom tables, right? So we expect like much better results this time, hopefully. If I can say something about my personal record, I was really happy. That was for me a very good result with Slan. I love that team. I wasn't sure how it will perform there in Greece, although I think that the rule set was good for them. And taking into account that I was playing basically whole tournament on the first table, meeting hopefully the best players of the opposing team, I think that the 3-1-2 result was pretty solid.
Yeah, no, I would agree. Like I'm not I've tried Slan or Kislev. What was it? Kislev Circus. What it was called in Blood Bowl 2, I think. But I've tried them like a couple of times just as a sort of test run of like how does this team function? How does this team play? And I just can't make them work. Like I don't know what it is. I don't think I just have the correct mentality to play the team how it's supposed to be played. and like so like to me a 3-1-2 like results in as high quality of a tournament as the EuroBowl is certainly a good record for Slán. So no don't have anything there to say about. And I did notice I might have been the Lithuania round. Like there was one round where you had a bunch of games that were just a 0-1 loss. So I can imagine that those could have very well been like the sort of tight games where just the one dice roll going wrong is the deciding factor.
Yeah, basically that was the game with Lithuania where I recall. One of our games was like the player was pretty sure he's going for win. I think it was 1-0 win, and suddenly like few rounds before the end, he said like, okay, this is incredible. I haven't seen dice rolls like this in the past, and there it broke, and suddenly it wasn't even a draw. I think he lost. So that was, for example, one of the key moments there in the game. But basically, against Lithuania, I for example, my match was terrible. I met Lizardman and I just couldn't do anything. The coach was very good. Played against what I protected very well his ball and ball carrier. So yeah, that was tough one. And we didn't expect that, right? I mean, like sometimes the bias is okay, new team, okay, we haven't met them before, like on other international tournaments, but okay, it might be just because we go to different areas. But we expected better results there, definitely in that game, and I think we had a chance. It slipped away, unfortunately.
Yeah, I believe that I'm looking at the NAF page. That was Storas for the Lizardmen on the Lithuanian team. I did interview the Lithuanian team before last year's tournament, and they did like it stuck in my mind that they were very much like aware of the fact that they were like sort of like newcomers to the scene, and they were hoping to sort of maybe catch people a little bit off guard by that, but they were also very confident in the skill of their players. So like going up against a tough opponent from Lithuania, like having interviewed them, obviously, like wouldn't have surprised me. But again, I'm in a bit of a privileged position in that regard.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I can. It's certainly one of, again, like I think that getting those sorts of results overall for the team, that like you got a couple of victories in there, but like lost most of them. Like I feel that might be good for the sort of development of a team, because it leaves you with that sort of hunger, right? Like it wants you to do better the next time, right? Like you're gonna put in the work, you're gonna refine your strategy, refine your rosters. Like it's just gonna give you just that extra bit of motivation, like a kick in the ass, to sort of like preparing for the next time, right? So in the long term, like getting a little bit of a disappointing result could work out in your favor overall.
Yeah, and definitely there are some players who even on Malta and now in and last year in Athens, they really underperformed of what we would expect. And it's not like, putting the blame on them. It's just that for some reason what they can do during the whole season and works well for them, right? And they get the result in, they suddenly kind of blow out, right? And they don't deliver what we would usually expect from them. So yeah, there are some players where I expect that this year we hopefully can use finally their capabilities, their strengths more. And I think that they got this year like much better teams for that. Maybe some of the teams that they had, for example, in Athens, where that was too risky, let's say, in some way. So let's see.
All right. But speaking of the teams, I think that's a good segue for us to move on to looking at the actual rosters that you have available here. So we have Tomb Kings, Dwarves, Chaos and the page just decides to refresh itself. All right. hopefully, there we go. Coach rosters. Check that.
Or I can continue if you want.
Yeah. You can in the minute. I'm just getting it on the stream. There we go. Should be fine. So Tomb Kings, Dwarves, Chaos Chosen, Shambling Undead, Necromantic Horror, Nurgle, Chaos Dwarves, and Blizzardmen. And we'll start at the very top. Who is this? How do I actually call you, by the way? Coewolf. Is that how it's supposed to be pronounced?
Yeah. That's okay. I don't actually know how to pronounce it. It's just invented, right? So I'm glad when someone else pronounce it somehow, so I don't have to explain how it's pronounced because I don't know. Okay, so yeah, the perfect Coewolf is perfectly fine.
Fair enough. All right. So Tomb Kings. We got the 2 Blitzers. We got the 3 Throwers. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 Skeleton Linemen. All of the Tomb Guardians. 3 rerolls. As for the skills, Tackle Mighty Blow on the Blitzer, Guard on the other one, Block on the Throwers, 3 Guards on the Guardians, and then 1 Mighty Blow on the Tomb Guardian. Overall, I've played this Camry roster in a league for 2 seasons, but haven't played it in a tournament setting. But overall, about what I expected to see from what's it called? From a roster point of view and from a skill point of view. The one thing that sticks out to me is the having the other Blitzer have the guard rather than having just 4 guards on the Tomb Guardians.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point.
Have you found that the Blitzer just being faster does that make that big of a difference to you in why you put it there?
Yeah, it's kind of a decision I did, and I think I've done it. I'm not sure which were the rosters. Where was it? But I used to play actually for Alicante cycle. Let's say World Cup. I was playing Black Orcs, and I on purpose put there 2 tackles because I was quite afraid of the dodge there against me. So basically, this is the decision, and I think I saw exactly the same roster on someone else for EUROBOWL. It's a decision that I want to have 1 fast guard there. The player has already blocked. That's fine, so he can blitz anyway if needed.
Yeah.
But I want to have there some movement to that guard.
Yeah, I think it's a perfectly reasonable choice overall. Is there it's just did you consider at all of having rather than having a block on one of the throwers, having a leader instead, and then using the what you get out of the rerolls to get an extra skeleton, or was that ever a consideration?
Actually not. I think that with the rule set, how it kind of clicked on the first try with this 12-man 3 rerolls roster, it was just fine, and I was perfectly happy with that.
Okay.
I played through several tournaments, not with huge results, but I was also testing, trying, and kind of get my head around Tomb Kings. And yeah, basically that was so. For example, if I can a little bit jump ahead, I don't have huge expectation from myself. It's maybe quite bad to say for the captain, but I hope I will be kind of a solid, bringing solid results the draws when it really helps and so on.
That sort of a stabilizer is what I would call that. Is having that sort of a player who can we can rely on him to get this, and if he gets a better result, then great. But he probably won't get a worse result at the very least. That's a valuable thing to have in a team environment, I think. So not a bad thing to be for the team. overall, what would you say, like, as a when it comes to a Blood Bowl coach, like what would you say is your strong point in the sense of like on the pitch itself?
Okay, so one thing which I wouldn't say is a strong point, but I really like weird teams, right? So you rarely see me at the tournament play tier 1 or 2. I just don't like it for some reason, although I know it's not a good decision always because many of those teams are really good. So often you could see me play Black Hawk, Slan, Stunties. I love Stunties, although they are in the tournaments, they usually are not really good unless the rule set is really helping them. But I really like this weird kind of team. So this year it was difficult. I didn't want to play Slan like 2 years in a row, and also different rule set. I don't think it favors them that much. So I was thinking about Tomb Kings. It took a lot of learning. So I think my strength, if I can say it, well, who knows if I really can do that, but I can kind of I have some history in chess. I was playing chess as a teenager for a long time, also in some local Czech championships under 18 and so on. So I think I have some, let's say, thinking to that, right? Like the tactical, strategical thinking.
Being able to plan ahead, like.
Yeah. And kind of a project a little bit what it could be on the pitch, although it certainly in Blood Bowl is different way than in chess, right? With all the luck and random results on the dice, right? So there are a lot of things I'm still learning, but I think that sometimes like the I can I can certainly do better defense than I can do offense often. I would say. So I'm because in the defense I'm not that clinched to push forward. In the defense I can think about the schemes that to how to build a defense and so on, and make it difficult for my opponent. So yeah, I think I like these positional games, although I definitely wouldn't say I'm really great in that. I think there are so many good players in the world that are much better than myself, but I think that I have something in that sense that maybe I can offer for example, on the defensive games.
Certainly, and I mean, again, it's a little like I understand the sort of idea of like, there are plenty of good players in the world, and like there's probably people who are better at than you, like at the thing that you're strong at, but that doesn't make you a weak player of Blood Bowl. That just means that they're super strong, right? So, it's a. But we got a comment from Bolter Vector, and who said that shocked that Kapusta didn't take ogres. I feel like that's one of those places where the team captain probably goes like, "Are you sure? Really?"
Yeah. So that's a good point, and I'm glad he didn't take them. I know he has very good results with them. On the other hand, I just don't think that that EUROBOWL rosters are that good for stunties kind of competitively, right? There are definitely rule sets that are more favorable to stunties. I don't think that it's the EUROBOWL ones. But yeah, I'm glad that Kubusta brought Norgal. He showed great results with them this year. I actually couldn't believe that because I was thinking about Nurgle in the first phases too, and I just couldn't think about like a roster I would be fine with. And he beat me actually, I think once or twice over on the tournament. So he's really good with that roster, and I expect he might kind of catch some players off guard with that roster. Actually, he's the only one with Nurgle for EUROBOWL.
It was definitely on the list of things to talk about, when we get to them. But yeah, no, it is. I feel that the EUROBOWL rules are more Bash favored like this year than perhaps previously. So the fact that Nurgle, the fact that Nurgle like could make a very viable roster doesn't surprise me as much. The fact that there's only the one is that does kind of surprise me. But we'll talk about that
I agree
when we get to there.
Yeah.
But yeah, unless you have any other comments about yourself,
No, let's go to others. It's more interesting about the rest of the team.
Yeah, it's more interesting when you get to talk smack about others. Yeah, it makes sense. We got Ernadar. Apologies if I butcher the name again. Dwarves, which dwarves in fact are very well represented in most teams in this EuroBowl. So we got double guard on the blitzers. We got one guard and one mighty blow on the lineman. We got both runners with wrestle, and then a troll slayer with mighty blow. He does have the other troll slayer as well. No skill on him. One assistant coach and the 3 rerolls and a dedicated fan. Not sure what to think about the double wrestle on the runners, I'll be frank. Like I get wanting to put a wrestle on a dwarf runner. Like I can see myself putting one there. Would I? Like I'd probably switch the other wrestle for like another a skill on the skillless troll slayer instead.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a valid point. I guess I can't say for sure, but I guess it's there are some bad experience maybe for Ernadar from other games. Also, yeah, like I'm thinking kind of then about the runners about like safeties, right? And if really you are unlucky and one dies, you still have the second one which can do the same trick. So yeah, I can say also myself building slightly different roster probably, but I'm not the dwarf coach, so that's another point. Yeah, I also kind of would put something on the other troll slayer. Yeah, but Ernadar, he played dwarves a lot. Then he took some let's say break with them and was playing a lot of Skaven in the past years.
Going from one extreme to the other, okay.
Exactly. He was thinking exactly like, okay, I'm struggling a little bit with the dwarf game, so I will go and kind of learn the opposite side of the spectrum, right? And then kind of benefit from that to understand, okay, what is bad, like what hurts, the agility teams most. So I think he did quite a lot there. Now he's returning to dwarves. Yeah, it might be a little bit shock after like about I think 2 years playing Skaven, but yeah, I think he is solid player. Again, like I think that he with the dwarves hopefully will be that stabilizing point, right? That me and him, for example, we won't be losing that much, although not bringing that many wins, but we will kind of enable other guys to kind of secure those victories, hopefully.
Yeah, no, I also wouldn't want to publicly announce the fact that I'm a dwarf coach, but and I'm not, but I have played a bunch of like Old World Alliance. Like I do like playing as Old World Alliance, and the one thing that I've found as an Old World Alliance, like in the like tournament setting, is that I've really come to appreciate putting stand firm on a troll slayer, like just because of with the frenzy you can be that sideline threat with like and not get like knocked off yourself.
Yeah. I think it can be also with kind of his style of play, right? How he likes to play the dwarves. So
yeah,
I can definitely see the point for the stand firm.
Yeah, I would like if you want to keep the 2 wrestles on the runners, which isn't entirely fair because movement 6 and agility 3+ like that, having both of them like with wrestle does make them like your agile players, right? I would just probably drop the mighty blow on the door like lineman for that, like, and switch it for the stand firm on troll slayer. That would be probably what I'd go for, like but like this is still like dwarves is one of those teams where you're like, unless you go really, really bonkers with like the skills that you choose, like just completely out of the box skills, like they're still gonna be a super solid team, like regardless. So it feels maybe a little nitpicky. in that sort of sense.
No, I probably the lineman Mighty Blow is also, I would maybe put some skill, either stand firm, that sounds good, right, on the Troll Slayer. On the other hand, yeah, as you mentioned, it's kind of the selection that probably won't be game changer in a bad way. It might be actually in a good way potentially, right, with some good casualties there potentially.
Yeah,
but
like I can definitely see it, like especially for the Amazon matchup. Like if he comes up against that, like the fact that you have a tackle Mighty Blow player, it's gonna be, could be very, very valuable. Unfortunately for him, he's got movement 4 and no way to dodge out of trouble, which limits him somewhat. But Mighty Blow tackle still a great combo in that.
Yeah. Let's see how it will go on. It will also depend on his matchups, right?
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, any particular sort of comments you want to say about Ernadar as a coach specifically, in the sense?
I think it's he was actually a big help to the team in Malta on the first EUROBOWL, where he got with Undead. Actually, he got 402, so he was the second best player on our team. And yeah, he I would say he doesn't have many like huge successes on a tournaments, but he performs usually pretty solid, right? So that's also, I think, what helps in this sense, like with Dwarves. Okay, so he can kind of get those draws, hopefully, where in some difficult matchups, and help the rest of the team this way too.
Yeah, no, it can be quite valuable, especially like if you have coaches who are newer to larger, like EuroBowl is a very big deal, like to go there as a coach, as a player, right? So you can get overwhelmed by the entire thing, as you can get a little nervous, you can get a little shaky on the hands, and having one or two teammates who are the more veteran, the more sort of solid, more just cool sort of guys who you can just rely on, like, can help out the team a lot and just calming those nerves, right?
Yeah.
So, always good to have them. All right, moving on, we got Grom with Chaos Chosen, who are also fairly well represented on in this tournament, and so he's got a bunch of beastmen. There's a guard beastman, there's a frenzy beastman, there's a tackle beastman, wrestle beastman, surehand beastman. He's got 2 chaos blockers with block guard both, and then the other chaos blockers with blocks, and apothecary 3 rerolls. This is a very solid team. Like just straight off the bat, like I cannot see anything that I would change about this. Like, this looks like a tough sort of like chaos roster to try and beat.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think that the Chaos Chosen are really strong in this rule set, right? Because basically what you read as the roster, that you have response to anything there, basically, right? Like you can do anything. Also with the Beastmen having horns, right? Then you can blitz anywhere almost on 2 dice. So I really like the roster too. Chaos was also on my list, right? Because this is really great. Like, if you can get a lot of skills for Chaos Chosen, then you can put there a lot of utility skills on each of those.
Yeah,
Beastmen, and have very variable kind of a team that can do a lot of stuff and kind of play against anyone. And yeah, so I think that's one of the really good rosters too.
Yeah, and he, unlike in say previous rosters, where I feel like if you wanted to get something close to this, you might need to, like, sacrifice one of the rerolls, and you don't really want to be running around with just 2 when it comes to Chaos Chosen. So yeah, I agree that this EuroBowl set in particular, I feel, was very, very good for Chaos Chosen as a team.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, considering maybe a little brief, but there is like I just cannot see like the one thing that I will note is that there is no mighty blow here, but it also feels like I don't see where I would put the mighty blow. I'll be honest, in the sense like I wouldn't want to put it on instead of one of the guards on one of the blockers, and I don't want to put it like switch a block out for a mighty blow. So it would have to be one of the ones on, like, it would have to be a mighty blow on one of the beastmen. But all of the skills on the beastmen are skills that I want to have on hand. So it's like, yeah, there's no mighty blow in this team, but there's no real place for it, I feel, either. Like,
I agree. I think that like the mighty blow, of course, looks like a obvious choice, right? But on the other hand, yeah, with this roster, I think that the strength on the field and the position on the field is much better, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. I wouldn't sacrifice the guard for that.
Yeah.
Definitely not the block, right? It's then a little bit, to me it sounds then a little bit like a greedy decision. You are looking at the odds of getting really some players out.
Yeah.
But you are a little bit kind of then kept to that player being utilized too much, right? And it doesn't have to be always the best.
Yeah. What about Grom as a coach then? Like, is he?
Okay, so yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. So Grom was a captain before me. So he was captain in Malta. Actually, the first captain of our national team, right? So in Malta and last year in Athens. Yeah, he decided to step down basically because of the family and wanting to have more time with them.
Yeah.
It wasn't any decision. So I'm a little bit like a, almost interim captain, I would say. Although let's see how long I will stick around. But yeah, Grom is actually the coach that started all the tournaments here. So he's organizing a lot of stuff. He's our enough representative in Czech Republic, like the national. I don't know what is exactly the term. But the important thing is he's also, I think, if not the most successful, definitely one of the most successful players we had kind of overall. So basically, if I should mention something, so in Greece, the first EuroBowl we've been to, he was 4-1-1, playing on the first table almost the whole tournament, being like something like 16th in the individual ranks, right? So definitely great result.
Yeah.
Playing some of the best players there. And then his huge success is, I think it was last year. Yeah, I think last year Dungeon Bowl, he was second on the Dungeon Bowl.
Ooh.
So I think 100 plus players.
Yeah, that's
second place.
Yeah, that's very impressive.
Yeah, so he's very experienced coach, right? Yeah, Orcs. I think he played them on both the Dungeon Bowl and in Athens and in Malta. Sorry. So he was very successful with them. But yeah, he's great coach overall, right? So he played many of the teams. Although I will be making fun of him because he's not playing stunties. So yeah, but very great coach, and for us definitely. And with this roster, I don't want to put the pressure on him. But I count with good results from him to support the team definitely.
Yeah. All right. Moving on, we have Helmet. That's at least something that I know how to pronounce. With the Shambling Undead, which, having taken a look at the numbers, I'm surprised that Shambling Undead isn't as popular as I thought they would be. Like I was expecting to have more of them, because I believe, taking a look at the numbers here, Shambling Undead, like, there's 18 of them, which is, a fair amount, granted, but it's still, like, when it comes to such a kind of bash-favored rule set, I figured there'd be more, but
I agree.
But yeah, looking at it, we got 3 Ghoul Runners, Blocker, Wrestle. We got Guard on the Mummies, Guard and Tackle on the Blitzers, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 5 Zombie Linemen, nothing on them, and 3 rerolls. It's it's like as expected. It's solid. Like
Yeah.
I don't think like undead and necro, unless you wanna take a little bit like more out of the box sort of roster, like similar to the Chaos Chosen, is that I don't think I'd change any of these skills for anything. Like I can see, like I could see sort of an argument to have a ghoul runner with, like if you want to be more offensive, have a ghoul runner with strip ball, or if you want to have more security, like have a ghoul runner with sure hands. But I'll be honest, I think just like the two, like having two block and a wrestle ghoul is it just it just feels better. I'll be honest than having like than strip ball or sure hands would in exchange of one of the blocks.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I also like it probably more like having safer ghouls, let's say, or how to keep them safe. Yeah, the Shambling Undead, that's such a solid team, right? I'm also a bit surprised that they are like they are not even top 5, right? Which I would expect them much more.
Yeah, they're just outside of top 5. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm also surprised. I think that's very solid team on our side. In Helmet's hands, they are really good, really solid team. So again, that's one of the teams where I expect that they are so good that we hopefully will get some good results there, right? Because Shambling Undead is overall strong. It has everything, right? Although the agility part is really limited to the ghouls, but still, that team is just solid out of the box, right?
Yeah. I mean, hey, at least the white blitzers have hands. Like the necro can't say the same.
Exactly. Yeah. So definitely, I think that's a good roster to take. It's a strong team, and yeah, definitely, I expect them to be like on top tables.
So, Helmet as a coach, what do we know about him?
Yeah, so he's a very solid coach. He has quite a lot of success on local teams for sure. I think I cannot recall at the top of my head from the kind of international teams, but definitely some of the good results can be found even there. He is very, kind of I would say the solid coach, right? Who delivers what you expect. Yeah, we had a little bit of problem with him on the EuroBowls in Malta and Greece, that he was not performing exactly as we kind of would expect under normal circumstances from him. On the other hand, I think that he didn't always have like the team that would suit him. I think that this Shambling Undead really suit him well. Like over the year when he was playing them on tournaments, he had great results. Really always like in top, I think at least top 5s or bigger tournaments, maybe top 10s, but really like always positive scores, right? Good results, solid plays against various different rosters. So yeah, definitely. When I was mentioning, for example, Ernadar and myself to be hopefully the stabilizers, I would say that for Helmet, I expect him to be also one of the players to decide the games, right? So that he won't be like losing much, that he will be hopefully bringing that positive edge to the results.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and hopefully, if he's been underperforming previously, then hopefully, like having spoken of that hunger, that wanting to do better, like hopefully he's gotten some of that in him, then like in the tank, ready to go.
I hope so. We used to make fun of him because usually, like when we returned from the EuroBowl, right, where he wasn't really that successful, then a few months later he win a tournament, right? And so we were asking, okay, where was this on the EuroBowl? When was this result?
Yeah.
No, but that's just fun. Like it's one tournament, EuroBowl, right? You cannot predict what will happen. Sometimes you just get the bad luck, or it doesn't fit with you, and it's kind of strange, right? So yeah, I hope this year that will be much better for him.
And we have a sort of what like a name for that sort of, which is a kasarmitikari, which is that translates as the barracks tiger, as in somebody who's like very commanding, very demanding, very sort of puffed chest like at home, and then when you go outside suddenly they become a little kitten almost. But hopefully Helmet doesn't proves himself and shows that he can get some results on the EuroBowl. Like I can imagine that he's himself wanting it as well, like just wanting to show that like, yes, I can actually do this even on this big of a stage. So
yeah, I hope so too.
All right, moving on. I believe we have at least out of the teams that you're bringing, the most popular one, Necromantic Horror, coached by Helinik. And as I said, I believe I've played against Helinik multiple times online, and I think I've even played him when he's been playing Necromantic Horror as well. So can attest to at least his skill on that. 2 guard on the golems, block wrestle on the ghouls, block on the werewolf, and then guard tackle mighty blow on like air wraiths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zombies, and then 1 assistant coach, 3 rerolls. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some people who want to have a block on a flesh golem as well. I've seen those sort of rosters where instead of taking the 2 guards, like they take one block instead. I've always been I definitely always have been of the opinion that I'll just take the double guard on the flesh golems instead. Like I feel that it just works better with my playstyle. The one thing that I'm looking at is like I get a wraith with tackle mighty blow is a very valuable piece to have. Like a wraith is a great player already out of the box with like block, sidestep, and fall appearance. But I'll be honest, I've always found that like I get more mileage out of a wraith when a wraith, like the sidestep guard combo is just so good, right? So it feels like a little, maybe like, again, I'm not a necro coach, but like I feel maybe it feels a little wasteful, I feel, to put the tackle mighty blow on the wraith. Like
I totally understand that point. To the first, definitely I would not put in this rule set. Just to be clear, I wouldn't put a block on a flesh golem at all. It's more valuable on the faster pieces. Yeah, with the wraith, yeah, I think it just depends. I think that this is like, from my point, and actually just maybe disclaimer I should mention earlier, the rosters are like coach's decision.
Yeah,
right? Yeah. So I'm not vetoing their skills and so on.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be, I think, really effective.
Yeah.
But I believe that the thinking behind this is like, when you can build the kill stack, just build it, right? So you have the block there already, tackle mighty blow, just have this like a hunter that can really kind of bring opponents down, and also make it like nasty for your opponent, right? Because I'm not sure how you, for example, face it, but I always hate when I have to block or blitz, or blitz mostly,
the full appearance
guy.
That one just it hurts.
It's so annoying. And when you waste it once, it's just already so bad. So I think that's also maybe this. I definitely understand the point with the block sidestep, having it twice. It's really annoying too. I think then it's a little bit about your coach's preference and style of game.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I don't think this is a bad choice, especially knowing that there's going to be a lot of Amazons out there, right? Like, I cannot say that this is a bad choice. It is just one of those where, like, the Wraith as a player has just cemented itself as being like with the guard, like just being so good, like just
Yep.
so good. So, but yeah,
No, I understand that, but that's let's see how this guy will how this tackle mighty blow right will
yeah,
will
but
perform. Hopefully, very good.
yeah, and I mean, yeah, as I said, like Hilinek is definitely like he's definitely the more experienced coach when it comes to Necro. So I'm like if he has faith in this roster, then I'm not gonna like not gonna try and naysay him about it. But yeah,
Yeah,
you mentioned yeah. Oh, go
no,
ahead.
no, sorry, go on.
Yeah, no, I was just about move on, and mentioned that Hilinek is one of the new guys to the team. So,
Yeah.
was there a particular sort of like did you just come up to like like a sort of bigger tournament and do very well in it that like put him into the community spotlight, or how did you bring him into the team?
So actually, they both with Kubusta
Mm,
kind of came into Czech community like a like a tsunami. They came to first few tournaments and suddenly they were winning or being top 3 in all of them, right? So I was like very surprised, like, okay, what is happening, right? Like, oh, these guys. Then of course we found out that they are playing a lot of Blood Bowl 3, so they
mm,
are very experienced. They just haven't been on the tabletop that
mm,
much, right?
mm,
So yeah, we were pretty sure that they will be soon on the national team.
mm,
So it was just like a slight delay before their points kick in
mm,
and all their results kick in.
mm,
So last year they've been participating in their own team on Europen.
mm,
So for them, it was like a first, like really huge tournament like this.
mm,
Although they've been, for example, to Emerald Bowl in Leipzig, so that is kind of a tech team
mm,
100 players tournament too, right? So
mm,
so they've been to big tournaments, but like this huge international tournaments. So they've been first time last year. Hellenic was playing his favorite Scalen there.
mm, mm,
Which he had like great results there. It didn't work well for him, which was really strange, right? We all are remembering him bringing all the wins,
mm,
but it's just that sometimes it happens, right?
mm.
As discussed, it's one tournament, anything can happen. You can just get into bad mood also and be unlucky on some matchups.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, definitely Hellenic is super good player, right?
Mm,
And with the Necro, he has a lot of experience. So as you mentioned, if he wants to tackle Mighty Blow, right, I'm not really opposed in any way to that, right?
mm,
Because he
mm.
knows why he's doing that, why he's taking that player there,
Yeah.
and it's probably very important for his gameplay. So yeah, from Hellenic, I think I also expect like a big results. I think
Mm.
he has great team. Yeah, we discussed like it's the
Yeah, second most popular,
most
I believe. Yeah.
second most
Yeah.
popular team, right? He knows how to play with that. He plays really well. Yeah, I expect him to be like to perform very well
Mm-hmm.
with the team.
All right. Yeah. Moving on to Kubusta, the other newcomer. Like, nice to have them back to back here. With the only Nurgle as mentioned at EUROBOWL. So block guard on the Nurgle warriors. Only the two Pestigors. Mighty Blow block on one, block on the other, and then stand firm guard on the rot spawn. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Rotter linemen and 3 rerolls. Mm, hmm. Not exactly what I was expecting. I'll be honest. Like, I do definitely see the vision with the stand firm guard on the rot spawn. Like, that just makes him great. Like just a roadblock with strength 5, tentacles, and then with the guard as well. Like it's just great. The Mighty Blow block Pestigore, on the other hand, little more suspect on that. I feel like if there was something that I would change in this roster, like personally, I would I'm still stacking the skill on the Pestigore, but the stack skill is gonna be wrestle tackle probably, because or block tackle, not sure, but like I'm at least considering wrestle tackle just because like that's sort of a I feel that having that sort of a ball sacker when you've got access to a character who is is the most mobile character in the team and already comes with horns for that strength 4, right? Like I just feel that just making it like fully more about killing rather than like ball sacking, especially like he has no answer to dodge, and Amazon is going to be a team that he's absolutely like, if he's doing well, he's gonna come up against Amazon probably.
Yeah. Definitely. And to the roster, I definitely agree. I like, or maybe even I love the rod spawn stand from guard. It's just like if the rod spawn can sometimes play at least, it's just such an annoying roadblock there, right? That's really difficult to bring down, and it just can disrupt some of the games. Personally, the reason why I stopped thinking about Nurgle was that like they are just too expensive, and I didn't want to, do the decision on going just with 2 Pestigores if I want to take a rod spawn, right?
Yeah.
So that was a huge deal breaker for me.
Yeah.
Kusta was not afraid of that. I played against him with actual Tomb Kings. I lost, and I still also I'm on the same page as you with the missing tackle. There should be some tackle, although he was playing it on quite a few tournaments. And again, something like with Linik, if he's not concerned about dodge being a problem, that he kind of positionally can kind of offset that, let's say, in the defense, then I'm okay with that. He's a great player, so if he decided to go this way, that's his decision. Personally, I would put there at least block tackle on that player. Yeah, wrestle tackle definitely would be much better.
Yeah, and I mean, again, I have played against Kabusta before, so I know that he's a decent enough coach, certainly. And if it hasn't been a problem, like dodge hasn't been a problem, then and he's confident with this roster, then like all power to him. It is just one of those things where, yeah, it like as you mentioned, like not getting the third Pestigore is also very much like one of those like things that just rubs me the wrong way on Nurgle. Like it's just, but like I'm sure that there's going to be plenty of people who are going to be like interested to see like how the one Nurgle player will do in this like tournament. So like, and I mean maybe he'll surprise like most of the people like there by doing really well. So
yeah, and to be honest, I think that like if we cannot decide that, right? That will be on the results. But if somehow we can navigate him around Amazons, right, and maybe just do some of the more, let's say, peshy or kind of let's say balanced teams, then I think he can perform pretty well with some of the tools that he has there.
Yeah, no, I mean this is like taking this roster into Shambling Undead, Dwarves, Necro, like they're gonna have a really big like problem actually fighting this. I feel like I think this is like especially good against that, and there's gonna be plenty of those. Like Lizardmen even will probably struggle into this lineup. So there's plenty of teams as like the like the one thing that sort of just like I look at this and then I look at the Chaos Chosen roster, and then I'm gonna go, I'd still take the Chaos Chosen roster over this in the sense of like of what the two rosters can accomplish. So like that's one of the sort of fairly popular bashy teams that I think he's going to have a bit of a struggle against.
Yeah, I agree. Like on the paper, I would take Chaos Chosen 10 out of 10 against Nurgle. Let's see. I think that the Nurgle can surprise a little bit. On the other hand, I think that the rule set is not really kind to them. They would deserve a little bit more to really, as we discussed. If I could have like a third Pestigor, I might be discussing with Kubusta if I'm not taking them. But actually, he had good results with them. So
yeah.
So I would probably step back because he's playing them much better than I would.
Yeah. And as I said, we'll certainly be keeping tabs on it and seeing how things go for him. All right. Then we have Vashik.
And Kubusta as a player. Sorry.
Kubusta
as a player, if I can.
Yeah.
I know that I covered most with Hellenic already, but the same, like great results right from the start. And what I wanted to maybe just point out exactly that he played the Nurgle on several tournaments this year, and he always ended up with pretty solid results, right? So that's again same with Linik. I have a confidence that he chose this roster on like diligently based on like assessing the risks of not having the tackle. So maybe for some reason he's not that scared, or he's just like, if he's taking Amazons, okay, he's biting the one for us. But I'm pretty confident he will be performing. I think he will surprise people with the results. I don't know. I can't say in advance. I guess I don't want to jinx him, but I think he will have good results.
I mean, and again, like, hey, if you can just, roll a POW on the blocks against Amazons, then the dodge doesn't matter, does it? So
yeah, exactly.
All right. But yeah, moving on. Vashik.
Vashik, yeah.
Vashik, okay. I jumped over to Wolfhound's roster for some reason, but Chaos Dwarves is a team that I have not had the pleasure of playing against or even seeing on the tabletop, because I've, at least in the sort of Finnish, like from what I've seen of the discussion, like most people are a little down on the Chaos Dwarves as a roster, like both as a team as a whole as well as into this particular rule set. So looking at, he's got Tackle Juggernaut on a Bull Centaur. He's got Guard on a Bull Centaur. Blocker with Guard. 3 Chaos Dwarf blockers with Mighty Blow. Both Flame Smiths have Guard, and then Hobgoblin Lineman with Sure Hands, and then he even has the Sneaky Stabba Hobgoblin, along with 2 Linemen with Nothing, and then 3 rerolls. Yeah, I mean, 3 Mighty Blows. Does he really need 3 Mighty Blows in there? Is my first question.
Yeah, that's probably a good question. Actually, Vashik went through several iterations of this team when he was like looking for the skill selection, right? And I think it's for Chaos Dwarves, it's not easy with the new roster, right? Because you suddenly miss a lot of things. You had a lot of things, tackle, right? You miss tackle, and also with the limitations on the skills. I think like the decision there is like, okay, if there is a problem that the dwarf blocker won't get to the dodge person at all, so it would be just maybe for dodges away from players. So I think its approach should be a little bit more like aggressive and try the luck there. We will see how that will play out. It can help certainly in some of the bash matches where you can just get maybe a few stuns and suddenly kind of turn the tide. But let's see. I think that the key piece that Vashik was kind of getting to really think about was the Bull Centaur's skills, right? I think that's a difficult decision And I, as you can actually see from my roster, having one guard on the Blitzra, right? That makes sense. That I like the idea of having one full Centaur more as a support with the guard, and the other one as a hitter with the Juggernaut tackle.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think honestly, I don't think that exactly that the roster. Again, I think it's in hard position a little bit with the new rules. But Washik was playing them for quite some time. He's solid with them. He knows what to expect and how they perform. So and got a lot of experience from various different opponents and rosters. So I think that the experience should be helpful there, and I hope the Mighty Blows will also help there.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, it's definitely like for my taste, it's definitely a feel like it's more. It feels like it relies too much on the removal aspect. Like that is I think like at least to my taste. But like yeah, as I said, I'm not like I remember hating the Chaos Dwarves like in the previous iteration of Blood Bowl. And I've not heard anyone really sing the praises of Chaos Dwarves in like Blood Bowl 2020, like when they came out and such. So yeah, I'll be, and like you can also see it like Chaos Dwarves. There's 6 of them, so it's not like they're a one-off like the Nurgle, but like they're still one of those that not a lot of teams found use for, shall we put it like that, or had faith in. So will certainly be interesting to see how Vashik manages to get around. What about Washik as a coach himself? Any?
So he's a solid player. He has some tournament wins under his belt. Definitely player for more like a bashy or controlling teams. So Undead, Chaos, Chorfs, right? I think Necro he played for some time. But yeah, more of this approach, I would say. So yeah, I'm glad he's taking something, let's say, he's familiar with. And he tested it a lot. We played on fumbles. He played, on fumble a lot. He took it to tournaments. So as I mentioned, what I believe here is the experience with the team he got over different matches, and also the experience he got there on how to build the skill set. So so I think that it will be solid, although I think he will have it difficult with Chaos Wars as a pick, because it's not really that favorable to them. But again, if he can get a good let's say pairing, that might help him. There are definitely some matchups where he can be pretty strong, and that can play in his way.
No, certainly agree on that at least. All right. Last but not least, we got Wolfhound with Lizardman, who, compared to previous, have certainly fallen off in popularity to this EUROBOWL. But Croxigore, 4 block Stars blockers, 2 guard Stars blockers, a Chameleon Skink, and then 4 Skink runners with nothing and a reroll. And yeah, this is a solid team. I think there's an argument to be made. Like, personally, like, this looks very much like a roster that I like playing. But like, I think there's an argument to be made for one of the SARS blockers would block to be tackle instead. Like, that would be the one change that I would personally consider. Like, just because, again, you know that there's going to be a bunch of Amazons, and you know that even if you aren't facing Amazons, you're probably going to be facing a team that has like at least a couple of dodge pieces, and most of the time those dodge pieces are going to be very, very important to take down.
Yeah, definitely. And I remember Wolfhound mentioning that, right? That okay, he was playing with the idea of one tackle, and then he decided not to pursue it and go with two guards as more solid build, kind of a more stable build, let's say. Yeah, let's see. Again, it's like okay, how that will play out, right? Because on the other hand, like sometimes being it a team competition, right, you can avoid all of the agility like Amazons, I don't know, Wood Elves matches, and then kind of let's say get a better situation thanks to not taking that tackle, right? But yeah, it was definitely like a decision he made. Yeah. And like kind of consideration and some decision that he made after some testing and tournaments, right? He decided to go this way. So I think I think that the roster is kind of solid, and it's just about this potential kind of one skill. You may argue also potentially put their frenzy instead of the one guard. I think that maybe he would be more inclining to that. But yeah, that's that one skill kind of that may play some role. But on the other hand, I think if he can, I think he can have a good results also without that.
Yeah, and I mean, Lizardmen are one of those teams that I feel that even just straight out of the box, like they, like with the skinks being as fast and being stunty, so being even with the 3+, like being able to make dodge plays like through enemy lines, and then you just have so much muscle to play with, like with the 6 sword blockers and the Croxy. Like they're just a very good team. Like even a like skillless like Lizardman team is still like a very good team already. And you know, with the block and like with the 4 block and then a couple of guards, like just to give them that extra edge in that like brawling type of situation. Yeah, no, like it's a very, like, I would expect a Lizardman team to do, like, to generally be a very solid team, but I seem to be in the minority because, again, like, only 7 Lizardman teams, like, out of 30 national teams. So
yeah, I'm also surprised about such a drop, right?
Yeah.
Last year, almost every team had the Lizardmen, I think, and they are not that worse in this rule set, right? I'm not sure if it's just that people don't like if they can't get their 6 block build, or what could be the reason. But yeah, I'm really surprised that I would expect them in, I don't know, maybe not top 5, but like top 6, top 7.
Yeah, I would have expected at least like solid half of the national teams, so something like 15-ish like lizards, but like not even half of that is making it. So I'm very surprised as well. So Wolfhound as a coach.
Yeah. Again, very good coach. With he definitely likes to play in Hungary. He won twice Palinka Bowl there, so definitely Hungary is his preferred playground. He plays. He also likes some of the specific teams, but also Lizard is his very kind of a strong play style. I think that what works for him really is that bash position you have while still keeping those fast, agile skinks there, so that you can kind of play both ways, right? You can smash your opponent with the Saurus and then just run with skink around them. So yeah, I think definitely his preferred team. And also Wolfhound is one of the guys who, like in previous EuroBowls, didn't really perform to level where we would like to see him. So as you mentioned, the Hungary, I think that he really wants to show what he's capable of. So I think that this year will be his like big breakthrough. And with team that he knows really well, that he played a lot, he's experienced with that. I think there will be a very good result.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, it certainly sounds like you're confident in the team lineup that you're bringing to EUROBOWL, so that's good.
Yeah, I may sound confident in the rest of the team, actually, not that much in myself, but let's see.
Okay.
I'm there to be captain, right? So,
Yeah. Like you're there to boss them around, and like if they don't win, you need to scold them. But like if they do win, then yeah, that it's all you, right? It's you. But yeah, one of the things that I did want to touch upon, like when it comes to the rosters, is the noticeable lack of two very popular teams. Both Vampires and Elven Union are not making it to the teams on the lineup. Is there a specific reason for that?
Yeah, and you are not mentioning that we don't have Amazon.
We do. I mean, I'm just I consciously block out Amazon players. It's like I just have such a pain in playing them. But yeah, very very true. No Vampires, no Elven Union, and no Amazons.
No, that's definitely a good point, but I think that it's with as I mentioned, how we build the team, right? We don't decide on the rosters, and once the team is locked in, then everyone it's kind of upon the discussion, of course, who wants to take what. So we don't like battle over or fight over some teams, but it's not that. Like, of course, if someone takes fun goblin build, good, but probably not the place for EUROBOWL. But otherwise, yeah, everyone wants to take something they are familiar with. They kind of feel good with or sync with the play style of the team. So that's basically it. Like, it's just last year we had Amazon and Elven Union even. This year it just didn't vibe with the team, right? It's also partially that we like to rotate teams, right? So it's rare that someone on the team would play the same team like 2 years in a row, for example, because we usually try to train and play it on tournaments, the team. So most of us like go kind of a season or a half season before the EuroBowl. They test the team and try to kind of find the right build. So then you are a little bit tired after playing like almost the whole year one roster or one team. So usually the people want to change and then they will just select something. And this time it went this way, that it just those teams rotated out. And yeah, it's not that we would purposefully kind of chase the meta here. It's just free for the players to choose.
Okay.
So there is no kind of a specific decision. It's just that it didn't kind of. We just felt like, okay, we don't want to play them, so that's why we don't play them.
Yeah. It wasn't so much we think that like these teams aren't as good as everyone else thinks. It's not a case of like you just didn't have coaches who were like capable of playing them. It's just that the coaches prefer to play something else, and you're okay. Like you're not going to be dictating to them that no, we need to have these teams here. Right, so yeah, that's
exactly like that.
Yeah, understandable. It is one of those like, with there only being two other teams aside from you who do not have Amazons locked in, and then Vampires were what there's 22 of them, and then Elven Union is 21. So definitely like those. The like gun it is one of those where a lot of people seem to think that they're going to do well, and you're going to acknowledge the fact that they are good teams and they're probably going to do well in the tournament overall, right? It's just that you formed the team differently or
and it may be after the tournament we will think, okay, that was a miss. We probably should have won someone playing Amazon, Vampires, Elven Union. But it's, to be honest, it's not right now. It's not the way that the national team is built on, right? We are more like, okay, let's put out the best we can, but let's enjoy it too, right? So let's play what we want to play, not really focusing on chasing the meta, even like for the price of someone playing the team they kind of hate, right?
Yeah. All right, but that does give us a fairly good segue into like the next sort of larger topic, I guess, is what are you exactly expecting from the EuroBowl? We kind of covered that you want to do better than what you did before, in the way that like you have that sort of want to improve and maybe show up actually show the skill that you have rather than underperforming. So in that sort of sense, like, is there a specific sort of place at the table, right, at the end of the tournament? Is there a specific spot that you want to end? Is it like a top 5, top 10, or is it just...
Yeah. So this is a good question, right? And if we look at our previous performances in Malta, we've been second to last. In Greece, we were, I think, 25th out of 28, right? So fourth from the bottom.
Yeah.
So we are pragmatic. We know we won't probably win the EuroBowl. That would be very unexpected to everyone, even to us. For what I would like to is to improve the result to at least by a minimum to last year. But basically, what I would consider as a success would be first half. Right? It might sound really not too self-confident, but we know that there are many countries that have really strong teams, really great coaches, and maybe also being more focusing on the meta picks and how to build the team, to have all the synergies there within the rosters. So we acknowledge that and we are fine with that, right? We understand we probably won't be top 5, top 10 would be also probably pretty hard, but we will do our best. And if it's first half, I will be happy as a captain, and I think also most of the team. Top 20 is, I think, something is that where we should land. If it won't be top 20, I will be a bit disappointed. Although it doesn't mean that I will be angry about that or something.
Yeah.
But I think that we have a skill to be in top 20, and if it can be like the top 15, so the first half, then even better.
Yeah. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. So I hope that in case we will do after tournament wrap up, then I can boast that we got to top 10 and we didn't see that coming.
Yeah. Speaking with your 2 prior experiences, is there any team in particular that you want to face? Like maybe you developed something of a rivalry with them, or maybe you just had a particularly bad run against them, and then you want to show up and like put him in their place. Maybe a little harsh way to put it, but avenge the loss, right?
Yeah. So not really that much, but if I can say, we always are glad when we can face some of the countries around us with not the huge community, so like Hungary, Austria, right? So if we can beat them, that's great always, right? With the local rivalries, we know each other very good. But yeah, in general, I don't think there's some really harsh rivalry overall. But what I would really like, if we meet Lithuania, I would like to beat them as a revenge for the last year, because I think that match wasn't our best, right? That we could have got better. And if I can, I would really love to meet some of the top teams, right? So for example, in Malta, we were on the second round. We met a Danish team that won the tournament eventually, and we actually lost to them just we had 3 wins against 4 wins, right, and 1 draw. So it was just a close game actually. And so that was really, really nice. Then looking back, right, that with champions we had just a close loss, even though we've been second to last, right? So I would really like to meet one of the top teams, being France, England, US, right? Poland,
I would
right?
put Spain and
Spain
yeah,
and Italy.
Italy as well. Yeah.
So I don't want to forget about anyone, but like whoever feels like a big Blood Bowl community, right? That's the team we would like to meet and at least compete with them, right?
Yeah.
Try that like a difficult matchup, right?
Yeah. You can
and see how we perform.
Yeah, you can really sort of want to gouge yourself against the best, sort of really get a read on your skill level against, especially with like teams such as England and France particularly, like they have very like meticulous, like big sort of way how they form their teams, and they've got a lot of veteran coaches, and like arguably the best player in the world at the moment is a Frenchman, right? So it's one of those where you can like, even if you end up losing, like you can like get a read on like exactly how well you performed against the top, right? Like it's gonna be a valuable experience regardless.
Exactly. So yeah, for us it's about enjoying the EuroBowl, right? It's not really about seeking the top places. Well, it would be nice, but in the end, it's really to enjoy and to have the enjoy the moment. Ideally, play with strong teams, strong opponents, so we can kind of test ourselves, right? A little bit, push the limits and show that we can perform.
Yeah, and I mean, not everyone needs to have go blood in the mouth frothing like into like we must win, we must be the best, right? Like they're definitely playing competitively is everyone's gonna be playing competitively at EuroBowl. Like I don't think anyone's gonna be playing non-competitively, but taking it to the absolute extreme is also I feel, if nothing else, it's probably not great for your blood pressure when the dice goes like, yep, you rolled a 1 into a 1. Your elf failed that very critical dodge. Have fun. Like at that point, it's but yeah. So I feel it's a reasonable sort of attitude to take, is that like you're gonna be there to enjoy some very good quality Blood Bowl, and like you're gonna try and do your best, like with realistic expectations you're going in.
Yeah, exactly like that.
Yeah. All right, but unfortunately, we do not have the first round draw. So we normally, this would be the time where we'd be talking about like how do you feel going up against whichever team you manage to get the first round draw in. But is there any sort of final words that you'd wanted to say? Any sort of other than we've been discussing it, like overall the attitude and what you're looking to find in EuroBowl anyway, but like any sort of closing remarks that you want to get out there?
Yeah, like I hope that everyone will enjoy EuroBowl to the most, right? That it will be great event, like the biggest one in the year, right? So let's enjoy it, and yeah, I hope that there will be maybe some fans like rooting for some underdog, right? Who doesn't expect really much. So if you are a fan, like feel free to jump on a Czech Discord or Czech Facebook, Czech Blood Bowl community Facebook page. And to all those that would like to visit Czech Republic for a tournament maybe, and visiting like one of the biggest cities in the world, Prague, then I can invite you to a local tournament we will have in Prague. It's let me check. It's 8th to 9th November. It's called Ogre Cup. It's one of our two big tournaments we have every year in Prague. 2-dayer with a very special rule set. So if you are interested, reach me out on the Discord and I will send you more information. Or if you will be at the EuroBowl, find us, the Czech national team, and we will tell you more. We will give you a link to the page and so on. So, but everyone who wants to visit the Czech Republic, feel free. Great cities here, history, and you can play Blood Bowl with us, and it's always fun, I think.
Well, I'm sure that there are going to be plenty of people interested in taking you up on that offer.
That would be great.
All right, but with that, we do come to the end of the stream, and I want thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to be here for the interview. We went went a little over what I was aiming for, but I'm hopefully it'll be fine. But yeah, no, pleasure to have you here, and I will admit that I am going to be certainly biased towards Team Finland, and I make no secret of it. So if you face off against them, I'm going to be rooting against the Czechs. But other than that, like, I wish you the best of luck in the tournament, and again, hope you find good success.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thanks for the opportunity. It was a really nice chat, and thanks for the possibility to little bit talk about Czech national team to the public and to your viewers. So thanks a lot for that, and everyone who was listening, thanks a lot for your time, and enjoy the day.
Yeah, absolutely. Hope everybody enjoyed that. There's going to be a stream in probably about, I would say, half an hour, and we're going to be talking to the Welsh national team. So, like, if you're interested in that, there's going to be about a half an hour of me disappearing from the screen, but we'll be back sooner rather than later for that. But yeah, as I said, I very much echo the statement. Thank you everybody for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and hope you'll be here for the next stream if you can. Always appreciate all the viewers and interest. And as I always say, good day, good afternoon, good evening, good night, good morning, whatever happens to be the time of day for you. Have a good one.